Ladies and gentlemen, we're expecting some moderate turbulence.
Please remain seated and enjoy the show. Hello,
And welcome to
Moderate Turbulence.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Adele.
And that's Roxy. Say hi, Roxy. Nah, she'll wait till the end. How are you, Adele?
Good, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm always good. You know me. So the setup's changed a little bit. We've gone to 4K. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see us in 4K. It's gonna bump up the quality a little bit there. And yeah, we were tired of the crappy old 1080p. So now we've bumped it back up to 4K.
Yeah, so, I mean, as we said, the background will change here and there and our video setup, we're still trying to figure it out, but at least, we've been recording consistently for an hour since we're back in Calgary. So,
yeah,
we're just trying. So let us know as well, like what you think, any ideas, things that we can put on our shelves as well. So comment down below on YouTube or just DM us on Instagram or whatever. Or you can email us as well.
Excellent. So a quick rundown of our show today. So we're going to be doing highs and lows, of course. And then we're going to be doing flight attendants react to a video that just came out a couple days ago. And I think you're going to like it.
Okay.
Okay. Are you going to like? Well, we already watched the video, but we're going to rewatch it and react to it. Yeah. So that's going to be fun.
I thought you meant me.
What about you?
Like, I was going to like it.
No, all of our dozens of viewers. Also, quick note. I know we talked about not having the Toronto mug, but Adele went to Toronto and she got the Toronto mug. So let's zoom in on that there. Yeah. So we got that. So I'm drinking out of that one today.
Oh, Maui. So that's our cat. If you can hear meows in the background, he's mad that he's not included in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so finally they had it in stock. I don't know. We couldn't find it for the last 3 months.
Yeah. Is
And
that
now-
at the airport? I didn't even ask.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I didn't have a Toronto layover.
Oh,
that
that's
time.
right. You just passed through, right?
Yeah, so I was just, every time I'm through Toronto, which happens to be almost every time I fly lately,
Yeah.
I've been checking the Starbucks. And on the domestic side, there are 2 Starbucks. So a lot of opportunity to check, and never were any Toronto mugs. There were the Canada one, the Ontario
Niagara
one,
Falls one. Yeah.
Niagara Falls as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never saw Toronto until last week. So finally got my hands on it. And as well, we have the Montreal mug now too. And the British Columbia mug I just got yesterday. Still didn't get the chance to grab the New York mug, the New York City one. Had a quick stop in LaGuardia earlier this week. So yeah, that's the Starbucks Saga mug for this week.
Excellent.
For anyone
excellent.
who cares.
Perfect. So we'll move on now to highs and lows. So Adele, any highs and lows from flying over the last week?
Yeah, there's been some lows. Is just there were a lot of difficult passengers, just a lot of, let's say, attitude, a lot of ungratefulness, a lot of challenging what flight attendants say, and it was just very frustrating, and a lot of, okay, this is, we're expecting some turbulence, so maybe you should follow or maybe be a bit more cautious. But no, people are still standing up to go to the washroom. People are not wearing their seatbelts or complying with, how to hold their babies or whatever. So it's just, okay, we're preparing the cabin, or we're, making announcements. The seatbelt signs are on or whatever. But, don't listen to us. Don't worry. We're here for no reason.
Well, I mean, flight attendants, we're not there to just to be jerks just to be jerks. No, we're there to actually try and make the place safer for everybody and ensure everybody's safety. So there's no reason to mouth off at the flight attendants or just completely disregard what they say. They're doing it for a reason. A big one lately for me has been kids, kids sitting properly for takeoff and landing. And the parents, I've had it several times. Parents were like, well, they just don't want to. Well, that's not their choice. That's the parents' choice of how you want to deal with it with your children right now. So be proper parents and take care of your kids properly. It's for their own safety.
Yeah, and obviously we get sometimes it's a bit difficult, but when it comes to literally a safety issue, we're landing the plane or we're about to take off, find a way for the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, make sure your kid is safe. During the flight, if they need to stand up, if you need to walk around, if you need to do things to entertain your kids or just get them not be so restless, we can live with that. We're not going to tell you to sit down just because,
Well, unless the seatbelt sign's on, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying it's like
Not to be jerks.
when
yeah.
it comes to, and especially when we're expecting certain levels of turbulence that exceed light during the flight, again, we're not doing it for no reason. And yeah, sometimes we might be expecting turbulence and then turbulence doesn't happen. But because, the weather changes, the winds change, and the path that we take from the previous aircraft that, reported the turbulence, it might be a slightly different. However, are we going to risk it? Is the captain just going to say, well, the flight before had turbulence, but, we're not going to get
cross
any.
Our fingers and see how it goes. Yeah.
Just continue service. Don't worry about it.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. So, I mean, I guess people are always going to do what they do, but it's just frustrating. Also, the line, we fly all the time. We know how this works.
Guess what we do? We fly for a living. We know how it works.
Yeah. And we have to enforce the rules. So it's like, and also we don't want to see anyone injured. We don't want to have to deal with the medical because you didn't comply with us. So how about you just buckle your seatbelt, sit down and,
do what you're told.
Yeah.
Stop acting like a child.
Anyways, so that was my frustrating.
Oh. Any highs for this week?
Well, I finally got to go to Trader Joe's in Los Angeles.
It was 2 days ago?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's like last week. No, 2 days ago. Yeah, finally I'm able to hold some US layovers again. So that's a nice treat to be able to go and buy some snacks and things and try new things at Trader Joe's. And if you don't know what Trader Joe's is, it's affordable grocery store in the States. They have them pretty much everywhere except Hawaii. And they just have great snacks, great selection of things. And
we munched on some of them last night. What was that cowboy salsa? What's it called?
Cowboy caviar.
Cowboy caviar. It was delicious. I really liked it. We had that with it was the everything but the bagel crackers. And then I bought some like other little Tostitos and stuff just from here. But yeah, that was delicious. And then, of course, everything from Trader Joe's. We have our staples that we always try to get when we're there. And yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, and it's been a while. We drove down a couple times when we were in Vancouver because Bellingham is an hour and a half away at most from Vancouver. But it's not possible. It's not a drive that we can do from Calgary. It would be a minimum of 5 hours one way to get
somewhere where there's a Trader Joe's.
Yeah, so it's definitely not worth it. So it's a nice treat. And I went with my crew member and we chatted. And I also had this kind of impression of, because she's brand new. She just started less than a year ago. And we just had our snacks and like a drink in my room and just talked about the job and talked about different things. And I kind of saw myself as her when I started flying, of, the crew members who would take me in, bring me around, or just, hang out with me on a layover because, it's nice to be social if you get along with someone. So
definitely, yeah. That
was a kind of little, 180 of, okay, now I'm in the position of being senior and showing the ropes to the young ones. She had just turned 21, I don't know, within the last month or so.
Oh, wow.
So she said it was the first time, or one of the first times, that she's been able to drink in the States as well. Because she was ID'd, of course, at Trader Joe's, and she almost panicked thinking, oh no, I actually can't. But then she realized, no, I'm 21, so I can.
Nice.
So yeah, that was funny.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. So for me, highs and lows. I actually wasn't flying over the last week. I had about 10 days off. That's just the way my schedule kind of worked out. So I'll start with my high. We actually went Aurora chasing with friends of the podcast, Alberto. We brought Leticia with us. And of course, Alberto's girlfriend was out there as well. So got some good shots of the Aurora Borealis. We drove for about 35 minutes outside of Calgary to a nice dark spot, and we had quite the little light show. We stayed there for a while waiting for the lights to kind of flare up a bit. And then just as we were like, oh, it looks like they're dying down, we're going to take off. And so as we're driving away, coming back to the city, we look out to our left and all of a sudden they just lit up the entire sky. So we pulled over and took a few more shots just with our cell phones. So that would have been my high for this past week. My low, I don't really have a huge low. I mean, I wasn't flying. It was probably just missing you because you were gone for a good chunk of it. So yeah, I was home alone with Roxy and the cats for a good chunk of this past week. But yeah, no big lows for me. But I go back flying tomorrow, so we'll see what next week holds for our highs and lows.
Yeah, Jeremy actually is flying really early tomorrow, so that's going to be, opposite. Now you're flying for 5 days straight.
Yep.
And I'm home. I have 4 days off, including today. So it'll be different, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so getting into the meat of our episode today. So we're doing Flight Attendant Reacts. This is actually a video on YouTube by MrBeast. He's one of the biggest YouTubers out there. He has, 140 million subscribers? So obviously one of the largest YouTubers out there. I don't know, hopefully he sees this and our reaction to it. But on this one, he does several different trips on different planes. And he ranges from a $1 plane ride to a $500,000 plane ride. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the different flights that he takes and critique that. Sound good?
Definitely.
Roxy looks like she's ready. All right, and here we go.
We're gonna fly on this jet that costs $500,000 per flight. And we're also gonna fly on this $25,000 private jet, a $10,000 first class seat, a blimp, and so much more. But before I show you what it's like to fly on some of the most luxurious planes on the planet, we're gonna fly on the cheapest plane in the world.
It's really rickety.
Here's the dollar. I'm very nervous.
Okay, so
dollar.
it's a $1 plane ride.
Half a dozen times.
You've done this six
Typical
times.
pilot joke. It looks like an ultralight. Yeah, the pilot said, "Oh, I've done this at least half a dozen times." So. Okay, so really quickly, that first plane ride, it was on an ultralight, and it looks like it was just kind of tooting around a little bit.
Just maybe 10 minutes or so around.
Yeah. And so it's funny because you see him hand over the $1 bill US and then they take off. You see him putting probably about a $1 American dollar worth of gas in there, and that was probably enough.
Yeah. And quickly, it reminded me of a little story that my crew member told me yesterday. So the pilots, it was the pilot's last flight. They were retiring right after that pairing or that flight, and they was like, I'm gonna prank the passengers and crew. So they just walked out of the flight deck, holding a map, looking at it. Then they looked outside the window in front of one of the passengers that was sitting near a window seat, and asked the passenger, does this
look right?
look okay? And the look on the passenger's face apparently was just pure fear and shock.
Yeah,
and then the crew members lost it. They just found it so funny. So yeah,
That-
quick little anecdote.
That reminds me of pranks that you pull on like first-time flight attendants. I'm not going to talk about them in this video, but we'll do that in a future video. There's some good ones out there. All right, we're moving on to the $1,000 plane ticket. This is where he's flying business class, and let's watch it.
But here's the thing, boys. I bought all the first class seats, so sit wherever you want.
Would you like
to
some
be
Miracle
Mr.
Mist lotion?
Why?
Okay, so that was $1,000. We don't know what the origin or what the destination was of this flight, but it's a business class seat. Now, you and I, we've been very lucky in our careers, and then with the perks that we have at our job, we often get to fly business class, which is extremely nice. We're very, very, very fortunate. And on the long haul flights, it's worth it. it's nice to be spoiled. Like
Yeah, but we don't pay $1,000
no.
though.
Again, we do have like discounted airline rates and stuff, but like we've flown Calgary to Frankfurt together, and we were in business class, right?
Yeah.
It's a much different experience than in economy. Economy's not bad. Business class is just everything elevated a little bit. So you saw in this video a couple little highlights: the nicer seats, slightly better service when it comes to food. Even the cutlery, the silverware is nicer. So, okay, interesting. And they're now going on to, it's a $10,000 ticket, and it looks like they're flying Emirates first class. Now I have a friend that used to work at Emirates, and some of the perks that you get not working first class, but sitting in first class. You'll see it in the video here, but they have the private little suites. The top is still open, but you'll see some of the perks you get.
And now the $10,000 plane ticket. Oh man, this is... feet in the air.
Okay, they
and I can
mentioned
take a
16
shower.
hours, but
On
they
top
still
of
don't
that-
mention the destination.
No,
the
but
origin or destination.
yeah,
So.
16 hours is obviously a long time to be on a flight. We've done flights I've done flights close to 16 hours, Toronto to like Delhi and things like that. Back in the day when it wasn't on the newer, faster aircraft. So now they're just looking at the bathroom in first class where you actually have access to a shower. So yes, you can shower. You kind of book time for it, the way I've heard how it works. You can book like a 15-minute or a half-hour slot, and then you have your time in the bathroom. And it's a big bathroom. It's not like the tiny little lavatories that we're all used to where you can barely turn around when you're in there. Should we keep watching?
Yeah, but I wonder how that works if there's turbulence. Like, do you pay for your 30-minute slot? Is it included?
I think it's included.
Book it? Because then what if your 30-minute slot ends up being during a turbulent part? Are you still allowed to use it? Do you get a later slot? Because then if it's a full first class flight and every passenger does book a slot, then do you miss your time showering? But then
I
you
don't
just
know.
paid $10K
Yeah.
to travel and then you don't even get to shower.
That's a good call.
That's the kind of thing that, as flight attendants, we're like, well, there's turbulence. Sorry, sir, you can't have your coffee today. But then on this one, it's more of an issue because, sorry, sir, you can't shower today. Like it's way different. The stakes
Yeah.
are so much higher.
Yeah, it's true. That's interesting. We'll have to ask our Emirates friends. Emirates friends. All right, let's keep watching some of what they're doing here in first class.
Me and the boys can order as much gourmet food as we want. And that's not all. We saved the best for last. Hey, how's it going? There's a private lounge in the back of the plane.
Hey, Jimmy. Yeah? Ow. You're not dreaming.
That was the $10,000 plane ticket. Point the camera up and down. And now we're at the $25,000 plane ticket that is up these stairs. That's right, there's floors.
Okay, so they finished with the $10,000 plane ticket, which was, again, Emirates first class. Wonderful service, beautiful. So they're going on to now the $25,000 service, where it's almost like hotel rooms on an aircraft. I believe they're on Singapore Airlines for this one, and it's a step above first class where you actually purchase like a suite. So let's watch this unfold.
Anything like this.
Holy cow.
Our space on this plane is literally 4
That's
times bigger than the
insane.
last one.
I've never seen a plane where I can comfortably do jumping jacks. Look at this.
Buy a car instead.
And now the best part of the room. A queen-size bed.
Ooh. Why don't
For
they just make
sure
every
people have
seat a
done
bed?
it on
Bro,
those
instead of
beds.
3 seats side by side. This is the $100,000 plane. This thing's huge. At this price point, you get the entire plane.
Okay, so now they've finished with commercial flights. They're now going into private. This looks like it might be a 737. It's hard to see because they're not showing like the entire aircraft. But just based on what we've seen there, it looks like a 737 possibly. Same sort of class as like an Airbus 319. There's one overwing window exit I could see there. So yeah, let's see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, but also a quick note, like we still don't know where they're flying to and from.
So,
So
yeah.
the prices are just kind of like, I feel like they're not comparable because of course the first $1,000 first class flight was a narrow body American carrier, as it seems, because these people are American, so they probably took it from
Like
somewhere
LA,
in the
LA
States.
to New York or something like that.
And they're
That's
saying
my
like
guess.
per ticket. So are they just buying like a one-way ticket, or are they buying like round trip? So that's the thing that we don't know. Obviously, it's like for drama. Like this guy has
Well, it's MrBeast, yeah.
millions
100
of
million
followers, so
yeah.
he can dish out the
140
money. But
million.
let's keep that in mind as we're watching this. So this private jet flight for $100,000, is it, where are they going, and how long is a flight? Is it a 2-hour flight, or is it another 16-hour flight?
Yeah. Or do you have it for like a weekend? Like what? We don't quite know those price points, but let's look at what they get for $100,000.
Oh, it's like a yacht.
This is wild.
This is unbelievable.
You want to know the craziest part? This is just one of 4 rooms.
There's more to the plane? I thought this was it.
And if you're feeling tired, you get your own private bedroom. I didn't realize you were taking off. Not the camera!
They're clearly, none of them are wearing seatbelts or anything. So
Yeah. So
that's
and
interesting.
They talk about it a little bit later here, but as they're taking off, they're all like goofing around and up and doing things. Of course, on a commercial flight, you have to adhere to the rules, seatbelts fastened, seats upright, all that fun stuff. Here, they're like, this is private. We can kind of do whatever we want. And they are.
So maybe that's the price of the $100K. You pay to
To
do
be
what
able
you
to
want.
do this. Yeah, to be act a fool if you want.
This is crazy.
Well, so that's one of the other things. If you're flying private, you can pre-order all your food. It's almost like going on a yacht. Again, we're obsessed with below deck Mediterranean and the below decks. And so you can kind of say, hey, these are my preferences. I'm sure it's going to be the same thing when you're flying private, saying, this is what I like. This is the kind of drinks that I enjoy. This is the kind of food I enjoy. And then they bring out steak and mashed potatoes, Caesar salad, a huge plate of sushi, some pizza. It's a tough life.
Well, you're paying a lot for your life.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my favorite plane because it has YouTube. But we didn't pop up first, so now it's not.
You can tell this is a rich person bed because there's like 500 pillows.
Hence why basically every rich person you know owns a private jet.
Hey guys.
Yeah?
We're gonna land.
Yeah, all the rich people I know.
I wonder, does MrBeast own his own?
I know he says that.
Oh my god, that was the opposite of smooth.
Wait, is Nolan still in the bathroom?
I don't know, is he?
Carl, go let him out.
How was your flight? Still better than the $1,000 plan.
So now we're gonna watch the last part where he's on a
$500,000.
$500,000 plane ticket. Whatever that means, again, we're not sure, and they never say which aircraft. So for us, we're like a little annoyed because we don't know which aircraft. Like the private jets, like is it a 737 private aircraft? Because that's a lot. So no wonder it costs $100K for whatever distance they did. And then this one, again, we don't know where they're going, but I'm assuming it's several hours because it looks like they're getting a lot of footage.
Yeah.
A lot of different things that they're doing, of course, to be able to get this content for the video and do different things like have a meal, have a nap,
Yeah.
Play card games or whatever, fly the plane like they showed going into the cockpit. So I'm assuming I would say a minimum of like 4 or 5 hours each flight.
Yeah. I'd say probably longer. Because, they did that Emirates flight. It was like 16 hours. So they're probably, or keeping the plane for like a weekend or something like that. And also just a quick note, we did skip over one clip here in the MrBeast video. It's where they actually flew on a blimp. It was $300,000 and they kind of take it over the Daytona 500. And we thought we would just rate the aviation airline stuff. So we skipped over that one. And now we're going to watch the $500,000 plane ticket.
You're a psycho.
For your mom.
And now, the most expensive private plane ticket on the planet.
So 4 doors on each side. I can't quite see the wings.
Welcome aboard. I
That's a 777. I think that's a triple.
It's actually $2 million.
She's like, I suggest it really hard.
And by square
777
feet,
is your
this is
private
bigger than our
aircraft.
houses. It's
Yeah.
almost impossible to imagine how
so
big
long.
this jet actually is. Right here is a bedroom.
Wow.
A bedroom. Another
Goodness.
bedroom.
That's
another
nicer than a
bedroom.
lot of people's
Keep going.
houses.
This is for the
Yeah.
crew. Another bedroom.
What'd you find?
My dibs.
The bedrooms on this plane are way more extravagant. Gold-plated sinks, multiple showers.
Wait, what's in there?
That's the toilet.
This
Multiple
plane comes with
showers.
its own theater, a lounge that can seat up to 12 people.
Room of candy.
Well, that's the Mr. Beast chocolate.
It's amazing.
So I really just shouldn't.
Gentlemen, how were we able to afford this plane?
I would say only our fans.
And because of that, we invited a bunch of random subscribers on this $500,000 plane ride. Have you ever flown
Bunch,
on a
there's
private
like
jet
4 of
before?
them.
No, this is my first time.
And it's the most expensive one on the planet.
I've never seen anything like this
But
on a
it's nice
plane.
that
like,
he,
this is
you know,
crazy.
Oh yeah.
includes
This
his,
right
his
here.
fans, subscribers, whatever you want to call them.
Throw it. Typically, what kind of people
Okay, she's wearing like sneakers and like some comfy looking pants, the flight attendant.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of jealous of her uniform, let's be honest.
Yeah.
anytime you want it and wherever on the
And she still looks good,
even in your own private master suite.
whatever that is.
Do you guys even know where we're going?
Goodness, look
We're
at that
taking
food.
you all to Disney World, and we're going to give you 2 days of all expense paid.
So they're going to Disney World, so I'm guessing they're going from the States to the
You
States.
want to fly on the most expensive jet in the world and then spend 2 days
probably.
all paid for in Disney World? Subscribe.
It's a nice message as well. you know?
Yeah. So just at the very end of the video here, it says Mr. Beast, and he is very, very, very generous. I'm a huge fan of a lot of his videos and a lot of the charity work he does. So in this video, he says, I wanted to do my part to protect the environment, so I'm planting 100,000 trees as well as protecting over 100 acres in a rainforest. So he always does give back. And as you see in a lot of his videos, he brings fans, he gets random subscribers to come and partake in some of the amenities that he shares with him and his crew. So I think Mr. Beast is awesome. He's done some amazing videos. Well, and he partnered with another one of my favorite YouTubers, Mark Rober, and they did a lot of charity stuff, sort of saving the planet. They were working on an initiative to try and clean up the oceans as well. So I'm a big fan of all of that stuff. You know, if you're gonna have 140 million fans, it's always good to give back a little bit. And Mr. Beast is a big charity guy. He does a lot where you see like he's like, hey, we're doing this contest and whoever wins gets $50,000, gets $100,000. So he does give back a lot.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, bringing it back. Yeah, I've mentioned it throughout, but I'm just kind of throughout wondering which aircrafts, what's the destination. So that's kind of what's left out. And of course, we're looking at an aviation perspective. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking what kind of plane, where are they going, you know, what airlines. We recognized a couple, but they weren't, you know, specific about all of them. You kind of see the logos here and there, but they weren't very that wasn't the main focus, if you will, of the video. Of course, they were just showing like what you get for the money that you pay, which is extravagant prices. But very interesting because it's just for our narrow body fleet. I wonder if we're ever going to get something similar to the $1,000 flights that they had, because that looked really like newer interior,
more modern, definitely.
Just kind of sleeker. So that would be interesting, and I feel like that wouldn't be too far of a stretch. Of course, the Emirates and Singapore, that's not going to happen. I don't think
the
ever or
and the showers,
anytime soon. But the lie flat seats on a narrow body, maybe that will happen. So that would be interesting to see if that would ever come. So
can I tell you a secret?
What's the secret?
I heard a rumor that you might see that in the near future on one of our airlines. So, of course, we don't talk about what airline we have, but there are rumors that I hope come true. Yeah,
that'd be really cool. Because of course, as well, for just if we use our passes for travel, that's an extra perk that we could possibly enjoy. So
Definitely. Yeah.
looking forward to that. Definitely interesting, and puts things into perspective of how much people do spend on those flights. If you're looking, I kind of peruse flight prices sometimes. Just for economy class to fly across the world is like several $1,000s.
Yep.
So if you want a business class, first class, a suite, those prices, it's true. They are very expensive, and those people do pay a lot. So I'm really wondering as well, like what turbulence, how does that affect the experience, especially on the commercial airlines? What does it limit? What about the stand-up bar on Emirates? Like, does the bartender stop? Like, does he sit down in their jump seat? Like, because I've also heard on Emirates and those types of airlines, they have people, like some of the crew, that are literally just there as, the chefs or the bartenders. Like, they're not
safety positions.
Yeah, they're not full like flight attendants. They might have, of course, some safety like training or whatever, of course, because they're working on an aircraft, but they're like literally there for the food or the drinks or something, you know? So that may be something we should look into and ask and see like what it's actually all about. That would be really interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of look at different service standards on different airlines.
Yeah.
Maybe an idea for a next video.
Yeah, could be. We're always looking for more ideas. So let us know. Did you watch the MrBeast video? What were your thoughts and feelings about it? Have you ever had the opportunity to fly on a private jet? Things like that. And let us know in the comments how you felt about this video. Yeah. Anything else to add?
No, but if you're out there flying, remember,
always be nice to your flight attendants,
because they might have to save your butt one day.
Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate and review wherever you listen to podcasts. We have new episodes every Wednesday. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Moderate Turbulence on Instagram, at Mod Turbulence on Twitter, and follow us individually on Instagram at HuffyJ and at La Delvie. Thank you.